FX on Hulu is Why the Last Man, a series based off of a comic book from, I think it's pretty recent. This comic book, right?
Yeah, Brian K. Vaughan comic book Y the Last Man. It's very very popular, very well liked. A dystopian
Yeah,
series.
yeah, and as you just mentioned, it's you know a post-apocalyptic world where every person with a Y chromosome has mysteriously died, except for Y and his
Hmm.
pet monkey. Which I gotta say, really love the monkey. Um, Warming up to the show, I would say after just one episode, I think it's obviously a lot of exposition and setup in the first episode. There's a lot going on, so my hope is that as episodes 2 and 3 play out, it
Hmm.
kind of hones in a little bit more on certain characters and themes. But what did you think of the premiere episode of Why the Last Man?
Yeah, so the comic series ran from 2002 to 2008. So
Oh, not
in the
that
grand
recent.
scheme of comic books, that's recent. And yeah, so I liked it. Like you said, a lot of exposition, a lot of table setting, introducing yourself to characters, female characters that you know will survive uh, in
Mhm.
the subsequent hours to follow. And I think for me, it's just kind of like the potential of the series because dystopian series actually is quite a mixed bag on TV. And if we could get one that's like really good and really compelling, that'd be super cool. Because like
Mhm.
remember the Walking Dead hype back in the day? Walking Dead's still ongoing. It's ending, but there's many spin-offs and all that for AMC. The Walking Dead had like so much like potential before we all realized what kind of show The Walking Dead was going to be, and it wasn't actually that concerned with its more like existential themes and all that. It seems like Why the Last Man, due to the unable to avoid like gender study stuff that can happen with this, has a lot of potential. So I hope it can get there. I was disappointed when they ended up recasting this lead role for Y here. Ben Schnitzer is our lead,
Mhm.
but this was supposed to be played by Barry Kagan when the show got off
Mm.
the ground. In general, the series at FX has had a troubled production, troubled getting off the ground, multiple showrunners. Then it had some COVID issues when it finally started getting made, but it's finally out, and you still have Diane Lane involved. That's obviously our most famous actor
Yeah.
present. So for me, it's just kind of the potential of the world, as it were. So we'll see how far we get because I trust FX at the end of the day, So I'm gonna give him the rope.
Yeah, I think that that's a good point. Is FX really does a nice job of curating most of these shows. Um, I'm I'm a little interested to see what comes of Olivia Thirlby. I hope I said that correctly. Whose character, commits a murder by the end of the first episode, and just kind of if that's going to just be yada yada out, or how that's going to kind of hang
Doesn't
over
need to be
things.
yada yada, bro. They all died.
I know, right? So it's gonna be interesting how that kind of just like affects the show, or if that will just be whatever. Um, but yeah, I have to say, I think Ben Schnetzer, gets a okay amount of screen time in the first episode. Obviously, going to be heavily involved in the other episodes, but I wasn't super impressed with him, and I worry that, as you said, maybe a more accomplished or recognizable actor might be better served to play a role like this. That's going to be so central to how things move forward. Um, but we'll see. I mean, maybe it's just one episode and he really shines. Diane Lane, I think, was by far my favorite presence, and all the stuff around the government I find really
Right.
interesting. So, really looking forward to how they kind of play that out. It's only 6 episodes from what I can see,
Now
so
it's gonna be 10.
it's gonna be 10. Okay, so
Yeah,
they've only
the
have
critics
six
got
that
the
are.
first six.
Gotcha. That's what it is. So, looking forward to seeing how this plays out. There's three on FX on Hulu, so if you want to catch the first one and binge a couple more, go for it.
Right.
Um, any more thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, in the press, they're talking about some of the stuff they were thinking about with this, and One of them was like logistically, like if this was to happen in the world where all people with a Y chromosome died, there's a lot of like societal things that would just die because, like, for example, only like 10% of commercial truck drivers are women. It's things like that,
Mm,
right? And it's like, oh
right.
wow. And this kind of again brings me back to The Walking Dead and where it came up short for me is like logistically, the logistics of dystopias and how new societies try and like survive. That's always the most interesting shit to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like when The Walking Dead got obsessed with like we're gonna go fight those other people, the Alexandria, blah blah blah. It's like I don't care about that. I want to know how the fuck you're eating your food every day and shit like that, you know? In the case of this, obviously it's not gonna be like the zombie apocalypse because there's still tons of people around, right? But I just want to
Mhm.
see like what are like the new like societal dynamics, and then I guess because I don't really don't know from exposure to the comics or anything, like exactly does Yorick like matter as the one man? It's like is it just as simple as like oh you better fucking get that semen and freeze that shit, you know? Like is that all it is, or like where is this going? But like
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential with like just even the simple stuff.
Yeah, well, and we also saw that it looks like all mammals with a Y chromosome are somewhat
Yes.
impacted. So then, obviously, food supply in terms of at least like meat, or and the effect that that's going to have on the nature and the ecosystem, things like that.
Yeah.
All really interesting. So, great premise. Looking forward to seeing how it plays out.